Hey guys, Anna here. Welcome back to Builds with Anna. Today we are in Windenburg for our final collaboration build, and today this build is brought to us by my very good friend Cimarella. She was actually one of the first people who I became friends with when I was started on Twitter, and even in this community, she is one of my original OG subscribers. And this is super special to have her build be kind of the final build in this installment. We have been doing collab builds since Halloween, guys. It has been a major journey, but I've enjoyed this so much. All right, so this build is crazy fast today, but that's okay. I will go through it slowly when we go through our tour at the end, but we need to get into this build. Okay, restrictions. So we are in the world of Windenburg, as you could see. So this is a get together base game only build. However, I added a laundry into this build because I felt it needed one. But I did get approval from Cimarella, and it's 45k. So this is a 45k budget house with those restrictions. And let's go a little bit into the storyline because she did give me a storyline. So we have this young couple who it's a growing family. They've got a toddler son but they also have she didn't specify whether it was the husband or the wife whose sister it would be. But so one of the young adults has a sister, and she's a bit rebellious and a bit mean, and she gets in trouble at school, and she has a bit of a reputation, and she's really kind of making it hard for this family who really wants to fit in. They really want to be members of society that have a good reputation and, just pillars of society. But this sister is really cramping their style. And anyway, so it's a very interesting story. So you got this young couple who've moved to Windenburg. They obviously don't have a lot of money, hence the 45k budget. And I did give myself a bit of a challenge today. This is a massive build, but it's always a massive build. It's an Anna build. When I build, this is how I build. But I really took inspiration of the houses around me, because she definitely said somewhat suburban in that kind of town center. So this is where all the cafes are and what have you in the world of Windenburg. It's in that Tudor style, and I just ran with it. So the style of this home, it's kind of, as I said, I took inspiration to the houses adjacent to me in this area. Some of them aren't actually playable, but it works. I really went into the debug menu because it was a budget home. I really needed to utilize debug, and I actually went with hedge fencing, as you can see what I'm doing here. Very interesting, but I think it works in this home. I don't normally ever do this, but I really enjoyed it. Some other standout features. I curved the roof a little bit, and the reason I did that is because I think it gave it a little bit more of a barn-like feel, and I liked that. I wanted it to be like the houses in the neighborhood, but different, right? And with the shingled, the staggered shingled roof combined with that barn-type curvature in the roof, I kind of think it looks a bit old, and I like that because if this is a cheaper house, chances are it may not be as modernized. I don't know, that's just how I perceive modern homes as being expensive, right? Well, that's just what it's like for houses in my area. They're a bit more pricey, but anyway, I really ran with the theme. I made this way too big. This is a 3x2, but it very easily could be a 4-bedroom house. I do have a downstairs skill room that I could have made into a bedroom. I did ask Cimarella if she prefer a spare room. She went with the skill room, which is all good. All right, so we are doing the inside. So let's get into that kind of a build. So obviously we've gone with the old antique wooden base game flooring. You know I love these things. I had to change the windows, all of the lower part, the first story of the home, to these cheaper windows for budget reasons. And so let's get into this floor plan. Okay, so you walk through the door. The first thing you walk into is a study, which is that room. And then you walk around into a kitchen. The kitchen has your access to your dining. And then if you go back into the hallway, you have the entrance into the living room. I could have made an entrance from the living room into the dining room. I didn't think it made much sense in real life. I don't know. I didn't think it was necessary, but you could always add a door here as well. But this is the living room. And I would love to tell you that it gets a little bit more fancier than this, but it doesn't. 45K is not much for a Sims house, especially a large 2-story, 3 to 4 bedroom home. It is massive. Now, as you can see, I had that little square that comes off the kitchen. In a real life situation, that would probably be a pantry. But we don't have pantries in The Sims. There's no real need for them as of such. So for now, that is a wash. I thought to do a little kind of like a makeshift laundry, and I think it works really well. So there definitely are those laundry baskets in all the bedrooms. Speaking of bedrooms, we are racing through the bedrooms. I will go through these properly when we go through a tour, but you have the teen's bedroom upstairs, and she's that rebellious teen, and I wanted to give her a really old vintage bed and a wooden carton for a bedside table. I thought that was really fitting, kind of that grungy rustic look, as you can see a little bit into her room. We're just putting in some basic furniture. I put clothes everywhere to kind of give her that kind of slobbish kind of feel. I don't know. And then I had this big hallway space. I didn't know what to do with it. I kind of just put just like a sitting area with a bookshelf. The kitchen is very bland with Base Game and Get Together. Get Together has beautiful objects, but they're expensive. It's very hard to make really pretty houses on a budget with just those 2 packs. I just rearranged the chairs because I realized I wasn't going to be able to put more than 4. And this is that skill room. So we do just have a chess table. I put a woodworking table. I thought that would be quite good. Houses like this might have it. I put a very thematic door. I made sure the building was thematic. I couldn't do much with the furniture, but I could make the build itself thematic. All right, and this is the part where I thought, okay, I need curtains. I need curtains in a house like this, and I found this red. These are from Base Game, I believe, like a cheaper Base Game curtain. And I loved this red. It was like a cherry red, very nice. And it just lifts the home. I absolutely love how things like wallpaper and curtains really can give life to a home. Can I just say, when we go through it, the kids' room has the best room in the house. And I always do this with toddler rooms. I always make them so nice, as if to say the parents kind of spends their money on their children and not themselves. I like it. I upgraded all the chairs. I upgraded the TV, but it was too expensive. As you can see, we are over budget. We're at 45K. I changed the TV. It's like an old-fashioned TV that you grew up with in the 90s. Really not thematic. And then I realized I had columns, but the wallpaper has a faux column. So I added a column in the porch, and then I deleted all of the columns, and I just put a bench. I needed something out here in the front. So in order to get some simoleons back, I deleted all those columns, and then I think we are moving in to, do I go back into the house? I do add an extra window because I think it needed something. I do. So I'm actually, as you can see, my hallways are very empty right now. I need more in there. And where you've got that kind of staircase section, because this house is not open floor. I actually really made a challenge for myself to build something that was not open floor. I didn't know what to do with this space. I put a gaming table because it was part of the Get Together pack. You guys know that I like to include something from that pack. There were just big empty walls, and I needed paintings, and I didn't have them. So yeah, it's a budget house. There's a lot that we could do with it, but unfortunately, we weren't able to. Okay, so we are live in game, and let's go through a tour. Can we just please appreciate how pretty this house looks at evening? So pretty. Windenburg is one of my favorite worlds. So I just, as I said, this is what my inspiration was, this little kind of faux area here. Even the next door neighbor, I used the same mailbox as them, just to try to find ways that I could make the house kind of fit in this area. But also with the landscaping. The landscaping was interesting in this one because this was kind of in a town square environment. It wasn't really in the countryside. It wasn't coastal in Windenburg. So I needed to do landscaping that made sense. And what made sense to me were these hedges. And this is just a debug pole piece, and I think that it absolutely complements the hedging. I really love this kind of planter tree piece. Great. This tree is one of my favorites, and as you can see, it's used really heavily in the world around us, so it blends right in. So I really enjoyed that. And the landscaping, to be honest, is just thrown together. I'm not a huge fan of the Get Together flowers, but I use them. I really love the shrubs from Get Together. I think they're great, these shrubs here. Wonderful. These yellow flowers, I really don't like them, but they are everywhere. If you look around, they are everywhere. So I thought, why not? Let's add them in. These are debug decoration statue pieces. I thought that they were quite good, just lifting up the landscaping. We do have the bins secretly here. I like to hide my bins. I just think that it looks a little bit neat when you're presenting these. These roof pieces, which I didn't mention, are just debug pieces, and I love them. I wish that this obviously was hollow, but it just, as I said, adds to the building. It gives it dimension, gives it a bit of shape. The roof line, I really loved these stacked gabled roofs, and the curvature that they have gives like a barn look to the building, and it's wonderful. Let's get into the tour. Alrighty, so you head through the front door. Not much of an entryway. We could afford a coat rack, a coat stand. I'm a lock in that. To your left, we have a skill room. Again, it's just got an easel, a chess table, and a woodworking station. I just think that that's okay. As I said, this could have been a fourth bedroom if you wanted it to be. And then across the hall, you have a study. Again, this could be a bedroom if you wanted it to be. In fact, this would probably have made a decent sized bathroom as well. If you wanted to, you could also have put a door here and made this a bathroom and made this the study. This all comes to me now. It didn't come to me when I built it. But yes, it would make more sense. But you know me, there's something about small bathrooms that get me. So this is our bathroom. Very standard. I really loved, this is a Get Together tile and I've never used it. I thought it would be really good. I really like the dark chocolate tiling pieces and how they match with all the other wood tones that we've used. It's really good. I did use a combination of like a middle brown and like a light wood tone. And the reason I did that is because a lot of the pieces had a combination of both. And when you have such dark, surprises, when you have such dark flooring, the light wood sticks out more and it's contrasting and I like it. An old painting, I made sure that I could afford that. These hallways, as I said, they're just empty. And I think this is why I always build houses, sorry, that are more open plan, because I feel like, what do I do with all of this kind of mumbo jumbo puzzle piece kind of hallways, you know? But they're so necessary. Having hallways in a home enables the house to be more flowy. I am so sorry if you can hear the revving next door. I have a neighbor. Yeah. Anyway, ignore that. So obviously back down the hall to your right, you do have that area where you have your staircase. So you just have a gaming table in here. I just wanted to put something in here that would make this space a little bit usable. We then have our back door. So this is where your back door is to the backyard of the property. There is not much to this backyard. The only thing there is just a clothesline, unfortunately, but that's okay. That's okay. All right, back down the hall, we go into the kitchen. I kept it simple. I just used blues. There's browns. I actually didn't use the matching cabinets for the counters, but I think that it's nice. It's the same blue, but it brings more of that light wood tone back in there. It's a cheap fridge and a cheap stove. I am sorry, but with the budget, as I said, I probably should have made this house a lot smaller than I did, but that's okay. And then through this door, like this would typically be like a pantry in most houses, but I thought, why not make it a little faux laundry? So we've just got a washing machine and just some decorations. That's all I allowed myself to have because of the budget. And then through this door is that dining room. You could put in a door here that goes into the living room, but there's something about just having access in a certain way that I actually prefer. And I feel like in an older home, this would have been correct. Like I know the house that I grew up in, And if you want to see that, it's actually on the channel. It was my Christmas build. It was in this layout. You would have had to have gone through this door to get to that room. There wasn't kind of access to multiple rooms from, the dining room or from a kitchen. It was to get to a living area, you went through a series of hallways and doors. So I liked that element of it. Back down the hallway, we do go into the living room. Again, I've sized up a big TV. Looks like something you'd have in the 90s. I knew I grew up with a TV like this. Simple fireplace. I would have liked to have used the get-together one, but it is so expensive. So we didn't. I tried to get a painting in here, which I did, which was good. This plaid doesn't really fit the theme, but I liked it, so it was all right. And then we've got the red couches. I wanted a bit of elegancy, and a get-together really runs a little bit Victorian for me. I couldn't use the get-together stuff because it's so expensive, but the base game Victorian objects were affordable, so I could use those. Alrighty, let's go upstairs, I think, now. So we're going to go back down the hall, upstairs, into the landing. So this landing space is just like a super long hallway, because this is just a giant T, right? This upstairs is a giant T. So this was hard to do a floor plan, I can tell you that much for free. So very rarely do you walk up the stairs and you go into the master bedroom, but I've done it this way because this was the most bit of space that I had. So this is the kind of tail end to the T, and very simple master. I wanted to give a space that kind of said, that matched the area, because I was really going kind of vintage, old fashioned, and I really love this bed for that. And these nightstands look very dated, which was good. A matching dresser, very simple stick in here. I used the candle from the Get Together pack, so I am trying to include that expansion pack in here. So that's the master bedroom. That's the young couple's room. Across the hall, you have the teen sisters' room. So in here, oh, what is that? Oh, that's part of the stair. Love that. Anyway, so what do we have in here? Again, I've used like a very vintage old bed, and this produce crate as like a stand. I love this. This says to me that it's like, we wanted to give you something, but we didn't have anything else. This was in the budget. We're going to use this. But also, like, she's rebellious and maybe she doesn't mind. Maybe for all we know, she stole it. I don't know. Anyway, but I think it fits her theme. The night lamp, I really love. The clothes on the floor, she's a bit messy. There's a basket, but she doesn't use it kind of thing. She's one of those teenagers. I like it. And I know that this wardrobe's a bit modern, but it fit that it fit that diagonal wall so well, so I used it. Because it is a small room. It's a tiny room. Alrighty, so that is her bedroom. And then we head down the hall of the landing, and we have this beautiful little sitting area. I just, I matched the blue from the books from the bookcase and just made it I didn't know what to do with this area. If we had more money, I might have done like a foosball table or something, which is part of the Get Together pack, but I didn't. So, down the hall, we do have the upstairs bathroom. Same as the downstairs. However, it has a potty because we have a toddler, and I actually like that it's next door to the toddler's room because it's not much for them to walk. And speaking of that toddler, oh my God, does he have a fun room. He probably has the most expensive room in the house. Actually, no, that'd be the kitchen. But it's just so well decorated in here. I probably should have changed the wallpaper and it would have been perfect. But it just really goes to show that potentially this growing family, their own son, is what's more important to them than maybe their sister. Maybe their sister is like, you can tell that they're really trying to put emphasis on this new upcoming child and what have you. And they really want to fit in and be perceived as like really good parents and really good citizens. And I don't know. I'm just kind of coming up with it. Cinderella will be in the comment section and she'll tell me what she wants this story to be. But I feel that that's what they're trying to do. They're trying to give the best start to this son their son that they can. And yeah, they just have all of the cool stuff. So yeah, that's the build today, guys. So I would like to give a very, very big thank you to Cinderella. You have rounded out our collaboration series here on the channel. And if you do like these collab style builds, don't stress. I have a lot of budget restricted, pack restricted, restricted builds in general coming up on the channel. This is a very exciting year. But yeah, with that, I hope you have a wonderful day, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye for now.